Audio sync. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Knocked you over. Yeah, with my ugly ghost hands that have lots of cuts in them because yesterday I was working on my computer and I got some cuts because I am very clumsy. May ended officially 2 days ago for you guys, but yesterday for me. I was meant to have the mental health vlog up on the 31st. I'm sorry, but my VR came and I had to play with it because it's so cool. I'm gonna try and do some art games and other stuff, but I do have a VR game coming. A VR game video coming where I play VR chat for the first time in VR and just play VR for the first time in general. And then on Friday the 7th of June at around 6 or 8, it depends when me and Aoife get back from shopping, I will be streaming FNAF Help Wanted, the VR game. I'm gonna buy it next Thursday because I get paid next Thursday, and I'm gonna do a live stream of it because I don't want to edit it. So we're gonna live stream the game instead and try and finish it that way. I don't know how well I'll be because I'm not very good with horror games, but I'm gonna try my best. I've never actually full on played a FNAF game before, so I thought here's the perfect opportunity to have a go and, you know, get some great content out of it, some good clips. If I cannot get it working on YouTube, I will post a video saying that I'm streaming on Twitch. The only reason I stream on Twitch rather than YouTube is because I cannot figure out YouTube's live streaming system. It's really hard for me to grasp and get it to work. I tried live streaming on YouTube a couple of weeks ago and it worked for a minute and then it turned itself off and I have no idea why. So if I figure out how to do the YouTube streaming, I'll do it on YouTube. But if not, I do have to move over to Twitch because I'm better and I know all the ins and outs of Twitch. Plus I have loads of friends that stream on Twitch and they know what to do. On to the subject of today's video, which is MERMAY. For a whole month, okay, not the whole month, I missed one day and that was yesterday and that's because I had my VR. But for 30 days this month, I drew and coloured mermaids with markers. And I was never really someone for markers because I could never get them to blend properly. I have to wear this because the cyst on my wrist has burst again, so it hurts. I was never one for markers. I couldn't get them to blend properly, but I really decided to have a go at it this time, and I bought new flesh tone markers. I have a video coming out about those eventually. I have so many videos to edit, like right at this particular moment, that I'm just trying to get through them as fast as I can whilst still going to work and everything and playing games. But anyway, let's begin. The 1st of May I did this little tail thing right here. It wasn't much, it was just something to start me off with MERMAY. It was just, you know, a sketch thing to get me back into the swing of like drawing. Then I did a goth mermaid, no Winry, sorry. On the 2nd day I did a goth mermaid. This was before I did all the prompts and stuff. I was just trying to like find my feet with the challenge and like understand how long it would probably take me every day to do this. I like this one, but you can see there's writing on the back of this page, which was my maths homework from a couple of years ago, that kind of bled through into here. So that did not go well. Other than that, it's not bad, it's not bad. Now we move on to day 3. I originally had this sketchbook to learn human anatomy, but I never finished the class, so I was like, just buy another sketchbook. We'll use this for MERMAY. This is for the prompt rockabilly, I think. I looked it up, it's like that kind of 1950s, I want to say, aesthetic. 50s? I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'll write it down. But I really like the mermaid in this one. I just don't like the background or the water. Brush pens are very hard to do backgrounds with. That's all I need to say. The 4th of May was, of course, May the 4th be with you. So I drew kind of like a version of Rey from the new Star Wars movies. With her lightsaber under the water, protecting all the fish. For the 5th, I was inspired by Drawing with Waffles video, where she did like a green mermaid type thing. I don't know, I'll leave a picture or I'll link it or something. But I thought, oh, I could do like one of those creature mermaids, you know? I don't know what I'm talking about. Next, it was Starlight, I believe, or Stargazing. And I have a mermaid here looking up at the moon and all the stars. Again, the background not so great, but I tried. At least I tried, that's a good thing, right? Then we have Treasure Chest. I'm really proud because I got it like closely resembling a treasure chest. Obviously my hands are still not great, but I had a go and it came out alright. In fact, this is pretty good. And this one I did on the plane to Benidorm, and I didn't colour it until I got back. This one's called Float. I wanted to draw a little friend with her just because I was inspired by that scene in The Little Mermaid, you know, where all the fish like twirl up into her hair. This one was, I think I just couldn't think of a prompt, so I decided to do 2 mermaids and then the tails would connect to kind of make a heart. It didn't go very well and their faces look like monkeys, but that happens sometimes. Other than that, I think it's sweet. That fin was meant to go there, but I decided to switch it and make it like, oh look, their tails like match up. I don't know. This one, I love it and I hate it at the same time. I tried my first attempt of doing someone of colour, you know, but of course I didn't have the right flesh tone markers. That's what made me buy new ones. Is that I tried it with the brush markers I had and it made her too dark and you can't see any distinguishing features other than her eyes. The sand and the sea and the sky I'm not overly proud of, but I'm not like overly disappointed with. The crab looks like it's on drugs. This one I didn't like, so I didn't bother colouring it. This one is Stretch. I just turned it into a swatch page and a doodle page. This one was for Mother's Day and I wanted to draw a little mum mermaid and then a daughter mermaid. I thought it'd be cute if they were like covering their mouths so that I didn't have to draw the mouths. But I made the mistake because I can't draw hands either. Like, look at that. Look at those hands. They're horrible. Next, we move on to #Monday. So I thought I'd draw a mermaid with that Monday feeling. I tried my best to make it look like her hair was floating on the water. I mean, it kind of works. It kind of looks like it's going with the water that way. I also did a gold trim to try and add something to it, because I wanted something, but I just didn't know what it was, and it didn't turn out great, but sometimes that happens. Lucy. I was drawing this on the plane back because I downloaded both the fairy tale movies to watch on the way back, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna draw Lucy and Happy as mermaids and Cap mermaid. But I drew her in her Aquarius star dress. I'm currently rewatching Fairy Tale actually, and it's so amazing to see how far she's come since I'm in the hundreds now. We're on Tenro Island and fucking hell, she's so much more powerful now than she was back then. Next one was Nurse. There's not much to say about it. It's a nurse, you know, she's got all the colours to do with black hair. Didn't over sexualize her. Next one was Disney, I think it was Disney. And I drew Rapunzel. I don't get to draw Rapunzel as much as I would like, even though she's my favourite Disney princess. I don't know, I just don't draw her as much. Just kind of had to draw sometimes. But I'm really proud of the design on her ears and that, and how I made that sparkle, and I'm just really proud of it. Next was Galaxy, I believe. and I can't remember what I was inspired by, but I know I just wanted like loads of galaxy colours. I was inspired by a galaxy for her tail, obviously, and then I did her fin in golden marker to add that kind of like glowing vibe, I guess. I don't know, I'm not very good at making things glow traditional. I'm good at doing it digital. Number 18 was pink. I don't actually remember what it was. I'm sorry. I'll write the prompt somewhere else. But I was getting tired of the same flesh coloured marker at this point, and I didn't have anything else, so I decided to try and colour her with my brush pens. Here I got the koi brush pen markers, the flesh tone ones. I used them in the other marker review, but as you can see I couldn't get a colour that was pale enough. That was the only problem with those markers. Those markers are fine, it's just that I couldn't get pale enough colour that I wanted. But I'm proud of this one. I'm proud of like the reflection in the water and that. And the little starfish on her arm. I like that one. Honeybee, here we go. This is where I started using the Le Mans, I'm gonna say Le Mans, I'm not really sure, markers. And as you can see I could get that variety on the skin tone. As I was saying, I'm really proud of how this one came out, because the variety of skin tones I got for her body is actually pretty good. And I'm proud of her afro. I'm proud of that as well. I did quite well on this one. I used the fine liner they gave me, which was thicker than the normal fine liner I used. But overall, I think this is one of my best ones so far. Next, we move on to all these, because as you can see, the new flesh tone markers bled through my sketchbook like hell. So we can close that up and put that away now. Next, we move on to the 21st of May, which was comb. I did this piece of this lovely girl, and I tried really hard to try and get the comb like coming through the hair. Overall, I really like it. This was my first try with the paler colours, and I think it went pretty well, if I do say so myself. Next we have witch. So obviously I drew a witch, and I drew a little black cat to go with her. Nothing really to say. I'm proud of this one as well. A lot of these came out well, and some of them didn't, because some of them were rushed, whereas some of them I took time and I, you know, cared for them. This one is Anchor. This is one of the other ones I found really hard to draw. I was watching something with my mum at the time, and I think I just felt a bit rushed when I was doing it next to someone else, so it's not as best as it could be, but I stuck to the challenge. This one is Geek. I think this was the point where I was trying to catch up on them, so I had to draw like 2 in a row. Because, hold on a second, there's 22, yeah, there's one missing. So the one before Anchor I did digitally. I will pop it in right here. I'll talk about that one at the end, because otherwise I'm just going to lose track of what I'm doing. This one is Geek. I drew her reading a little book. Not my best again, but I tried. This one is Princess, I believe. I tried to get a bit more comfortable with drawing the boobs just out instead of having a bra on, because I was running out of colour combinations and stuff. I always liked that idea of the hair covering like the tender parts. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. I really like this one. This one was electric, and I thought, oh, she could have a little Pikachu moment, considering Detective Pikachu came out around this time. So I was like, Pikachu. But I'm really happy with how my skin colours have started blending out. How better they've become since I got the new first shown markers. And here we come to the point where I have started rewatching Fairy Tail, and I was rewatching the Nirvana arc where we first meet Wendy. So I was like, I'm gonna draw Wendy and Charlotte. I don't know how to say her name in English, so I just say it in the Japanese pronunciation. I'm really proud of this. I never really drew Wendy or Erza. I always drew Lucy and Natsu. It's like the only two characters I ever drew. But it was an attempt, and I'm proud of it. As you can see, I definitely started drawing Fairy Tail characters. This one is Erza, obviously. I did her tail and her bra as like her knight armor, and you know, her sword, like the wings is her, what's it? Oh, I'll put a picture of it. I kept forgetting to put everyone's insignias on to like the last minute, and I was like, oh no. And this is the last one I ever did because I got my VR yesterday, and I didn't want to do a mermaid. I wanted to play with that, and I didn't want to rush one today and then put it out in this video. I wanted them to be good and well thought of. This one was Kissed, and I did the classic she likes him, you know, from Happy. And yeah, I did Lucy in her star dress again, and I had the idea of doing like the dragon color gradient that's on Igneel and stuff like that for Natsu's tail. It looks like he's got nipples. They're not nipples, it's just the blush of like the skin. I don't know, it was hard, and I don't know why, I just really wanted to draw Natsu with a really stupid face on. But that's the 30th. We're gonna go back and talk about the 23rd now that I can pull it up. That's what it looks like on a screen. But I really like this one. I liked how I used the pink outline, and the shading is really good, and I think this was the first digital piece I'd done in like a month, because I've been drawing traditionally in my sketchbook for Mermay. And I think it came out really well, and I'm really proud of it. I did kind of like a gradient for the background, and I did obviously mess up some places. The chins are a bit weird. I did try and use a pose from a picture I found on Google Images, which I'll insert here as well. Like, I would draw, you know, lesbian mermaids, why not? Love is love, my friends. Accept all. Okay, that was my mermaid video of all the mermaids I drew in the month of May. I only did 30, and I wish I could have done every single day, but other than Inktober, I've never really done a challenge like this before, and the Inktober ones, I've always missed a couple of days and then had to catch up. This one, I only missed a couple of days when I was trying to catch up on all the colouring, so I'm actually quite proud of myself for doing it in real time every single day. I'm really proud of all these, even though some of them aren't amazing as I wish they could be. I'm proud of them nonetheless because I tried, and I managed to do almost every day this month. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends, and subscribe to see more art content and just more gaming content, more variety of content on this channel. We don't have a niche. I don't like people who don't have niches. I like a little bit of everything. No, I like people who have niches, but like, I don't want to have one. Go follow my social media, join the Discord to know when I stream, because I do post it a lot there when I'm gonna stream. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye. Look forward to the other mermaid one where I review some markers. Okay, bye.